So this whole site has just recently been reopened. However, I want you over here. This is the storage area behind this fence for all of the soil and commodities that are removed. There are a couple other sites around the island, but we may not get to those.
Is this the current? Is it a storage area currently?
Yes.
For all the stuff that's removed.
Well, yes, as much as can be stored here. So there's other sites around the island as well. And then sometimes it ends up on Alameda, on the island of Alameda. So,
Government property, no trespassing. Controlled area. Authorized personnel only for emergencies, contact EMS. Well, that's interesting. In other words, if you get in there.
emergency management services, is that what that is?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you get in here, they have another row of rope that has the actual signs.
Oh, here we go. Radioactive materials area. You see that? And radioactive materials area. Now, that's an interesting barrier of what, maybe 6 feet?
Yeah.
Here. Not much of a distance there. And radioactivity, doesn't that radiate?
Well,
Yeah.
I'm going to pretend I'm there for them for a moment. Well, it's impacted, but it can't touch you because we've made this highly effective barrier of nothing because just like in Harry Potter, you have to know that you can enter the portal in order to get through it. So let's just remember that this pretend portal to hell doesn't exist. Therefore, it can't bother me.
It just doesn't open. It just doesn't open.
Yes.
Because we're us.
And so, you know, tonight we're going to be off to see the wizard again and have him explain to us that there is no way that there is any risk to public health and your children just shouldn't dig. And
now, who's the wizard that you're referring to?
the Navy.
Now, what's the name of the current wizard?
Oh, Keith Foreman.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Well, I saw the gentleman in really shining on Vicki Wynn when she was asking him questions and telling her that she was interrupting their little pre-meeting luncheon. And when she was asking him some important questions about this. So what is the significance of
So
this?
they're boarded up to prevent squatters. It's not all that effective, but here's some asbestos. You can see the shiny hair-like fibers. Clear asbestos warnings.
Oh.
And it's outside of the building as well.
Can you read that?
Sure.
Asbestos.
It says danger, asbestos, cancer, and lung disease hazard. Authorized personnel only. Respirators and protective clothing are required in this area.
So if you're homeless and you're looking for a place to sleep,
Right.
you might not even see the sign, and you just want a place to sleep. You're going to stay here. You're going to sleep here.
You may, because it'll be dark when you get here, and there's no lighting. And you're used to seeing warning signs. Don't enter, because, again, outside of the social injustice of homelessness, it doesn't matter if they have a lease. It doesn't matter, we're not talking about the legalities of, tenancy, and especially in these buildings. When we want to argue the legality of our being there, sure, we went through all the right channels. But let's not forget that some people just can't do that. And they are here and they do exist. And just because they're not on a piece of paper that you can track them does not mean they don't exist.
Right.
And it's sad that they would just put the boards up there instead of going in there and saying, hey, do you need help? Because Treasure Island Homeless Development Initiative should be addressing the homeless.
Is there a Treasure Island Homeless Development
Yes.
Initiative?
They're a nonprofit that's funded through Treasure Island Development Authority and the city. So if they're receiving funds, are you only helping the formerly homeless? It doesn't say formerly homeless. It says homeless development initiative. Are you developing homelessness? What are you doing?
Now, actually, they are one of the groups, the at-risk groups that they moved out here, were people at risk for homelessness, low income and at risk for loss of homes, and homeless people. That was the part of the compassionate purpose here
Right.
for Treasure Island. And I understand from talking to people that the folks at Treasure Island welcome the homeless people out here. There's less of an attitude
Yes.
because there's sympathy and there's real understanding.
I think there's an identity, actually. I don't pity anybody. I think we all have the capacity to end up on either side of that fence.
You're talking about empathy and
Right, but I have an
understanding.
identity with them.
Right.
I identify with them because at any given moment, I have no idea what life will throw in my front pocket and make me have to ask, beg, borrow. I will never steal. I will never lie. But, I don't know that. And I have struggled. I have experienced hunger and poverty and, yes, even homelessness on our way to somewhere that we weren't sure if our parents would be able to provide. And we were U.S. military family. So I can't imagine how they shut the doors like this on a building. I understand that they need to protect people from the asbestos, but if all you're doing is preventing someone from finding a place to sleep, then you need to come out here and once they're here, say, hey, I can help you. There are empty units over there, and mind you, they're not much better because I'm not happy being in them, but they're better than this. And you can't transfer that into...
So there is available space here
There is available space.
where they could put some of these folks.
Mind you, it still has lead and asbestos in it, but they don't have to just block it off and let them sit out here where this stuff is obviously not just in the building. This stuff is my kids could touch this if they decided to take a hike around the side of the island, which we do. We ride our bikes. We go places that are open, and this is wide open. How can you not pick this up?
Okay.
That's disgusting.